Hi, and welcome to Morning Coffee with Pazan Academy. I'm Deanna, and it's Great Books Monday. Today I want to talk to you about some good old-fashioned family fun. And this is a great way to engage the whole family in an activity that will not cost anything. And what I'm talking about is sitting around together without any devices, television, not even a radio, and to read aloud. And I recommend because it's warming up, it's spring, and usually this time of year we want to read something a little lighter, something hopeful, and kind of that renewal that spring brings in. So why not grab a children's favorite? Whether you've read it before or not, this is a wonderful way to engage the whole family in a timeless classic. So I'm going to give you 5 ideas that you can read aloud as a family. So you can let one person read, or you can share the responsibility. Maybe everybody reads a different page or a chapter, but it's just a wonderful way to have some family together time. The first book I recommend is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, published in 1868. This is a timeless tale that tells the story of the 4 March sisters, their relationships, and what they faced growing up. It also has that conflict where they have responsibilities to their family and to work, and it may not always align with their personal happiness, and how do they overcome these things. And so this is a great story to read as a family and to talk out some of these issues about your own siblings or cousins or family relationships. This is also a series, so if you enjoy the March sisters, then you can continue on the journey as they grow up and have families of their own. The next story was published in 1865. It's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And you may think you know this story if you've seen the Tim Burton movie or the Disney cartoon, but it's actually quite different. And it is a story about a girl falling into a rabbit hole and ending up in this fantastical universe. It is poetic. There are amazing creatures and incredible adventures that Alice goes through. The story really captures that sense of childhood wonder and just that gift of being a child and having that great imagination. So this is a wonderful story to read as a family and to let everybody take turns in reading a different section. Now this next story I'm actually currently reading, and it is Heidi by Joanna Spyri, and it was published in 1881. This is a story of a young girl who goes and lives with her grandfather and has a friend named Clara, and she just brightens their world. This is a story that is just about this enchanting little girl and the joy that she brings. It's about the beauty of nature and the beauty of the small things around us all the time. I love this story. I loved it when I was a young girl. It is just absolutely delightful, beautiful, and lighthearted, and something I think the family could really enjoy reading together. The next book was published in 1908, written by Lucy Maud Montgomery, and it's also a series, Anne of Green Gables. This is the story of an orphan girl who gets adopted by an elderly brother and sister who have a farm, and they're struggling. When she shows up, they're expecting a boy to help them out with their farm, but what they get is a precocious girl. And this is a great story about her adjusting to finally having a family, making friends, going to school, and living this life that she never thought that she would be able to live. It is just a glorious story, a coming-of-age tale of this young girl and how she grows into her own with the comforts of being loved and having a community. The last book is also a series. It was written between 1932 and 1943 by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and this is the story of Little House on the Prairie. These were based on her experiences from childhood, living on a very rural farm in the Midwest from 1870 to 1894. And there are 10 books total. The first 9 she published, and then in 1971 they took some of her diaries and they published one posthumously. And it is just a delightful tale of Americana in this time period and living in this rural environment. She grows up, she becomes a teacher, she falls in love, has a family of her own, and what it was like in this kind of a snapshot of American history. So these are wonderful books that you can read aloud, turn off all the devices, sit in a room with a family, and then you can pause and talk about different things. This was entertainment for millennia up until probably the 1940s when people started getting radios and they would listen to radio shows. But again, the whole family would be in the same room and they would be so excited to hear these stories read aloud or acted out aloud over the radio. Fast forward, we get television, we get movies, and now we have these devices in our hands that we can get all the information in the world very easily. But why not do something a little more old-fashioned and join in with the whole family, read aloud, which is a great exercise even for young kids to build their vocabulary, to give them confidence for reading and speaking. And so it's just an amazing, engaging activity that you can do anytime. And so start one of these children's classics for spring where it's kind of lighthearted and there's always these great themes that you would probably want to share with your children anyway. Well, I'm off to finish Heidi. If you're enjoying our videos, please like them, share, subscribe. We have links to our other social media in the description below, and we'll put links to those Gutenberg books as well. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time.